Hello everyone and welcome back to NASCAR Heat 3. This time a little different, a new mini-series here on the channel. Every race week we're going to be doing a last to first challenge like the kind of F1 YouTubers do on race weeks in F1. We're going to do that here with our spin on NASCAR. I'm going to choose a driver that I think is going to win the race in real life, and I'm going to do the last to first challenge with that driver. These are only going to be like 5 to 10 minute videos every race week, like I said. So obviously we're going to Michigan this time. We're going to do about 7% races and try to go from last to first. This is an interesting track to try this challenge at, because if you lose a draft here in Michigan, then you're not going to have a chance to do anything. So certainly an interesting track. We're probably going to suck on this first attempt at this last to first challenge, but you never know. It might go well here. It's going to be tough though, so hopefully we can pull it off here. So I decided we're going to choose Chase Elliott, who I think is going to win this weekend. This is the only time you'll ever see me driving the Chase Elliott car. I can tell you that much now, as we will obviously be starting here in the 40th position and try to get first within, I think, 14 or so laps in Michigan. There is actually, we start P39 as Eric Almirola starts in the back as Kevin Harvick. He was on the front row as we would get ready to try and complete our first ever last to first challenge here in Michigan with the driver of my choice, who I think is going to win, as we would take the green flag here. Like I said, driving the number 9 Napa car of Chase Elliott here from P39. It is indeed, I believe, 14 laps, so certainly a decent amount of time. But like I said, if you lose a draft at Michigan, you don't stand a chance. So really the main goal here is to not lose a draft, but it's probably going to happen before we even get to the top 20. So really, if we come out of this thing with the top 20, I mean, I would, I guess, be kind of satisfied with our first attempt at this at a track like Michigan. So hopefully we can pull that off here. You see me going 3 wide down the back straightaway early on there with Parker Kligerman and Haley Deegan as Harvick led the way down through turns 3 and turns 4. Quickly using this inside to my advantage as we were, like I said, quickly passing these guys. Moving into the top 35 there as we came down the front straightaway, going 3 wide with Daniel Hemrick and Reed Sorensen there in the 55. Also looking at the inside of the 47 of Ryan Preece and Joey Gase as we went down into turns 1. Working our way quickly to a top 30 position, going a little wide there. You're going to see me maybe roughing up some drivers like that because this isn't career mode. We don't really care how we race the other guys right now as we come down the back straightaway. Moving into P29 at that point, we would quickly continue to move forwards early on in these opening laps there. As you see me passing Matt DiBenedetto, closing in on the back of Bubba Wallace there as we came through turns 3 and turns 4. So in the top 30 early on, hopefully we can continue to keep up this pace, but it would be a bit of a struggle as obviously the more laps that go on, the more spread out the field would get. There as you see me passing 32 of Corey LaJoie at this point. Moving into the top 25, and as we came through now to lap 4, moving up to P17, passing Daniel Suarez there and William Byron. But there was one problem when we got to the back of William Byron there. You see, ahead of him, there's basically nobody, as Ryan Newman was over a second and a half, maybe even 2 seconds ahead. So I knew right away that pretty much this was likely as far as we were going to get. There you see Newman, multiple seconds up ahead. So we have no draft, and it's going to be very hard to run these guys down. Now, I was not, just for if anyone's wondering, I was running this one on a controller. Obviously, I do career mode with a wheel, but I just use a controller for this. As Jimmy Johnson, he would actually run me down with the draft and get past me. So we would be sitting P17 towards the final 5 laps of this little sprint race here in Michigan. And this was pretty much as far as I would get. We would really struggle here, as obviously I could stick with the 48 of Johnson, no problem here with the draft as we went down through turns 3 and turns 4. But you see just how spread out everybody is up front, which is kind of surprising. In career mode, it's usually a lot closer than this, which kind of surprised me. I'm not sure if there's a difference between the AI and career mode and single player in general, how they race. It might be, I wasn't 100% sure, but as we came to 2 to go, still running behind Jimmy Johnson as me and him drove away from the cars behind, but we just couldn't catch the cars up ahead as they were in a little bit of a group there together as we come through turns 1 and turns 2, approaching the final lap. Clearly not going to be successful in this first ever last to first challenge. I mean, it's called a challenge for a reason. Now as we come down the back straightaway, just using the draft from the 48 of Jimmy Johnson as we head down through turns 3 and turns 4. Like I said, we're not going to complete the challenge on our first try, but we're going to try and do that obviously in the next one. I think the next track NASCAR goes to is Sonoma, so hopefully we can do that there. Now as we come through the trial, we'll hit the white flag here in Michigan. 1 lap to go now as we try to maybe get to the back of Jimmy Johnson before this checkered flag comes out and maybe have a chance to get P16 from him as we go down through turns 1 and turns 2. And as we came out of turn 2, slightly closing in there on the back of the 48, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough as we come down the back straightaway for the final time here in Michigan. 14 laps, certainly not a lot of time to make this last first challenge happen as we come through turns 3 and turn 4 for the final time here in Michigan. Closing in on the back of the 48, but it's not going to be enough now as we come down the front straightaway through the trial here in Michigan. We're going to come through in 17th in our first ever attempt at the last first challenge here for Michigan. I still think Chase Elliott's going to be my pick to win here in real life this weekend at Michigan. Not necessarily what I want to see, but I think that's what we will see here, as that's my prediction. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this new mini-series, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very appreciated. I'd like to thank you all for taking the time out of your day. This might not obviously be as successful as the career mode's going right now, but I'd like to thank anyone who has decided to come and support me on this little series as well. I'd like to thank you all for doing that now. So I will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you for watching, everybody, and hopefully we can complete these challenges in the future and be a little more successful. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.